All right, so picking up where I left off yesterday. So my best friend dropped her body, right? She transitioned. I get a phone call from the doctor advising me that I'm the healthcare proxy, right? And that she only has, not so much advising me that I'm a healthcare proxy because I knew, but I kind of blocked it out and put it out of my mind because she had told me years and years before. And so, but you're never thinking that it's ever gonna come to a point where you're gonna have to move on that action, right? Like me being a healthcare proxy is gonna really ever come into play. So I never really gave it that much thought. So doctor calls and says, hey, her name is Valencia. And when I was doing my walk today and I was talking to her because I wanted to make sure she was comfortable with me sharing this with you because she's still my best friend, y'all, because she ain't went nowhere, right? And so I asked her, I said, V, are you okay with this? I kind of got a confirmation last night. I did get a confirmation last night. Now, let me not say that with any doubt. I absolutely got a confirmation last night and the night before. And that's actually why I started telling the video, because this is what she would want me to do, exactly what I'm doing. She will want me to use my voice and my experiences and my lessons to help somebody else, because that's what I'm supposed to do. And so that's what I'm doing. So, but when I was doing my walk just now, she said, say my name. Say my name. And so I will say her name. Her name is Valencia. Her name is Valencia. Her name is Valencia. I will say her name, right? So I get the call that I am the healthcare proxy to Valencia, and she only has a couple of days left to live, and I need to hurry up and get to the hospital. Now, like I said in the last video, she has a big family, and she has a mother who's still alive, sisters, a brother, and kids. Now, it's important to note that me and her daughter, my niece, we are the only ones that's on the same page. We are the only ones that is willing to honor her wishes, no matter what that looks like. Whatever it is that she wanted, we're willing to carry that out. So now the family's upset with her because it looks like she's taking my side. They're upset with me because they don't feel like I should be in a position to make a decision about their loved one's life. Well, that wasn't up to them. That was up to her. So when it first happened, when I first got the call and the doctor says, you got to make this decision. I asked for time, and the doctor says, you got a date or so and you need to let me know. And I said, all right, I'll be back tomorrow. So this is tomorrow. But that night when I go home, now, while I'm there at the hospital, now mind you, there's a lot of people here and it's just me and her daughter. And these people are angry. These people are upset. The energy is awful, right? It's very low energy. And if I was a very timid person, I wouldn't have been able to carry it out. If I didn't know how much protection I had surrounded me, I wouldn't have been able to carry it out. But I know who I am, and I know whose I am, and I know what I am. So wasn't worried about none of them. So it's me and her daughter. But when I go home that night actually, when I go home that night, I'm planning on going home. It's like about 10:30, and I'm holding it together at the hospital, right? I'm staying strong. I'm not really showing too many emotions because there's really not a whole lot of time for that, right? I have to think logical now, right? And I have to think for her, right? And I have to think what she wants, and I can't let any of this outside noise interfere with what I need to do. So I'm staying strong. I'm speaking to the doctor. I'm trying to control the environment as much as I can. I'm trying to comfort her. It's me and her daughter. I'm comforting her. All the rest of the people who disagree with my decision and the fact that I am the healthcare proxy, they're already blocked out. So that's still a lot going on though, right? I still don't have any time to really be her best friend, in a sense that I don't get to just sit there and be like, oh my God, she's transitioning. Let me hold her. Let me just kiss her. Let me be her friend, and let me just love on her before she goes. I got to spring into action because I know what's important. But on my ride home that night, I remember stopping at my mother's house because my mother lives right around the corner from me. I was put up in front of my house, but I couldn't get out. So Spirit said, go to your mother's house. And I go running to the door. And that's where I release all the emotions. I just break down and I'm crying. And I'm like, why would she do this to me? Why would she put me in this position? Why would she have this on me? Why would she have this on me? And I'm so upset, right? And so it wasn't easy. While I tell this story, it may sound like it was just one day, just a regular day in the life, right? But that wasn't the case. I tell it this story right now with this cadence and with this tone because I understand the mission. I understood the job and the lesson, and we got through it. So now that I'm here, I can speak about it in this tone. So I go to my mother and I'm crying. And so at that time, me and my mother I don't know if my mother remembers this, but we had decided that it was too heavy for me. I shouldn't have to make this decision. I'm not doing that. I don't want this kind of problems with her family. I don't want this, right? I just want peace, and I just want to be able to just be her best friend right now and not deal with any of that. And so we had decided, my mother and myself, we was like, all right, we're going to tell her mother tomorrow she can be the healthcare proxy, because her mother was listed as the second healthcare proxy, and I was the first healthcare proxy. And what that means is, in the state of New York, is that if the healthcare proxy one, who is listed as number one, don't want to do it or cannot do it for whatever reason, don't want that responsibility, then healthcare proxy number two that's on the line now can assume those duties. However, healthcare proxy number two has no power until healthcare proxy number one decides that she doesn't want to do it. So I said, tomorrow when I go in, this is too heavy. I was just crying. I was so emotional. This is too heavy. I am going in there tomorrow and I'm going to tell them her mother can be the healthcare proxy. That way I can just sit by her side and I can just do whatever it is you do when somebody's about to transition and drop their body. Whatever it was going to be in that moment, I don't know. But I'll just do that and they can worry about everything else. So that was my plan. Dry my eyes, go home. Okay, tomorrow when I get up, I'm going to call them and I'm going to do that. But when I get home, my spirit said, no, you're not. No, you're not. You're going to honor your best friend's wishes. You're going to do what she asks you to do because you can. And yes, it might be a little bit of trauma and a little drama. I didn't mean to say trauma. I meant to say drama, but it did end up being some trauma. But it might be a little drama and a little bit of, noise in the background, but you got what it takes to get through this, and you're going to do this. And you're absolutely right, Spirit. I will go there tomorrow with faith, with confidence. I'll use the wisdom that I've gained thus far. I have the protection of the universe that is conspiring with me and wants me to be able to achieve this desire of my best friend and carry out her mission. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to trust my higher self. I got my ancestors all around me. I got soldiers all around me. So I'm good. I'm going to do what she asked me to do. And I did it. So I go to the hospital the next day and they're all there. And now they flew the brother in town. He flew into town, and so the numbers has increased, right? And I guess they thought if we all go there together, we can talk her out of being a healthcare proxy, and we can become the healthcare proxy, because our plan is to put her in a nursing home and try to extend her life as long as we possibly can, because she's only 49 years old and it's too soon for her to go. Now, me not being the type of person that judge, I understand where they coming from, but that ain't my business. That's theirs. My business is what my best friend asked me to do, and that's exactly what I'm going to do in the face of controversy, in the face of adversity. While I'm yet hurting and sad and scared and confused, I'm still going to do what my best friend asked me to do. Now, it was one of the toughest decisions I ever had to make. And I'll tell you why, because you still never really know if you made the right choice. I just had to trust that I was doing what she asked me to do, and I was honoring her wishes, and I had to trust my spirit wouldn't put me in this position to carry this mission out if I wasn't capable of doing so. And I indeed was. Now, what I did in this time is what I will want you to do. I share this story with you, and I am going to continue on with the stories because there's so many levels to this story. But I'm going to tell you this. What we are facing right now, and always have been, there's always been trials and tribulations on the earth, but it might seem a little bit weird right now, right, to some people. And death might seem like it's all around us. It's always present. But let me tell you, you don't die. She didn't die. I knew she wasn't going to die. I knew she couldn't die. I knew she was immortal. I knew that energy once created could never be destroyed. I knew that. And I wasn't about to let them shake me out of anything different. That body didn't serve my best friend anymore. Her spirit was trapped in a body that didn't serve her. She was sitting in pain. She was hurting. The body did not serve her. And that spirit wanted out and it wanted to be free. And I was going to honor that. So I would encourage you, if you're sitting around somebody right now, you might be comforting somebody right now who look like they might be transitioning or about to drop this body. Understand they never die. When you need them, they'll always be there like they always have been. You'll feel that energy. You'll get her sign. Something will happen to comfort you, to remind you, I am still yet here with you. So understand that they don't die. Energy cannot be destroyed. So don't waste that time while you're in there with them going, please don't leave me. Hold on. Don't go. None of that. Use that time so wisely. Use that time to help them unburden that spirit. Is anything I can help you unburden? Is anything I can help you get off of you right now? So I stood in the gap for my best friend when she was going through that. Every single day that I went to that hospital, I became her. I stood in the gap. I carried her trials and tribulations and I cleared them up. I carried the cross for her because she could not. That's what I did with that time. And I didn't have time for them people who just trying to hold on to a physical body because they don't want it to go and they got their own attachments. And while I get it, that's still not my concern. My job was to help my best friend unburden. We'll go further into it. I'll see you in the next video. You can't die, baby. I'll see you in the next video.